Hello everybody, welcome to Midnight Serenity's YouTube channel. And today we are going to make this flower badge reel with using Martin by Resin Rockers glitter. We're going to use Resin Rockers UV hard type, and these are the decals. If you get my DIY kit, this was all included in your kit minus the UV resin. But I'm going to show you how to put this together today. So if you're unsure which way the blank goes, I always glitter on the top, and you can lay your blank on top of the decal, on top of the leaves, and it will kind of tell you, which way it goes. So you do it until it lines up. So we know laying it this way that this side is the top. So that is where we are going to start. And I am just going to take a pin pen, grab mine here, and we are going to remove the top coat. Sorry, my gloves are a little big, but I wanted to protect my hands. PPE is very important when using resin. All right, so we've removed the top. And again, everything I do is on the top. So we're going to go ahead. I have this little silicone bowl here. They remind me of little mixing bowls. I get those at resinrockers.com. We're going to just put some of our resin right there in the bottom. And you are not going to use all of the resin that came in your little baggie. You just need enough to basically color your resin. Too much, your resin won't cure properly because the light won't be able to get through it. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of that Martin. And then you have extra. I always send enough so that you have extra. We're going to go ahead and stir that up. And I'm just using a plastic spoon. You want to avoid wooden spoons as much as possible because wooden spoons, because of its being porous, it will leave extra air bubbles in your resin. So once we do that, I'm going to brush off. I'm not going to use this to spread the resin. I use a silicone tip brush, so I'm just going to wipe this off to get the resin off, and then we'll have it to use again. So I use these silicone tip brushes because it allows us to get into those finer points. So we've got a little bit of air here. We're just going to lightly take a lighter or a torch and just get rid of a few of those bubbles. You don't want to do it a lot because you don't want to burn your resin. And it's okay since this is the bottom layer if you do have some bubbles. So we're just going to go ahead and put this on. Now most of this will be covered up with our decal, so it doesn't have to be super thick in glitter. You're just giving it a nice base. All right, and you're just going to carefully spread all around, trying not to go over the edges, kind of like painting a picture. So we're just going to carefully move that. I always start toward the center and move out to the edges. Even when I add extra, I tend to move out to the edges because it helps reduce run over. All right, and we just got this one side over here. Again, we're just going to paint it like a picture, making sure that we're covering the entire blank. Once we have that done, I do have some extra resin in here. So I have this little teddy bear mold that I'm going to pour it into because we don't want to waste it. But you can certainly use it for another project as well. And we're just gonna pour it in here, and then we can always add to the teddy bear later. If it's not enough to fill him up, he'll be multicolored. All right, so now we're going to lay our tools down, and we're going to go ahead and give this a cure. I'm using I believe this is a 36 watt lamp, and we're just going to cure that for 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll be back. All right, so now that is cured, and you'll know it's cured. Don't mind the paint on my hands. I was painting, but you'll know it's cured because this part of your tools will come right off. And this, you can just squeeze your silicone cup and that will come out, and then you just take something sticky to get that extra glitter off of there. So we're going to set that aside. Now I do have some run over on here. you can see, and I'm just going to take some needle nose pliers and very carefully you're going to push away from you and wiggle it out, and that will get, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There you go. Wiggle. There you go. We're just getting this run over off of here. And again, you just want to wiggle it. You don't want to pry it because you could risk breaking the acrylic blank. All right, so there we go. We got our leaves up here. And next we're just going to take some transfer tape and we're going to put the transfer tape on top of our item. We're going to use the burnishing tool. That's just gonna get it so that it sticks good to that transfer tape. And next we're going to put it onto our item. So the leaves are gonna go on here. All right, so there we have the leaves. And next we are going to do the big one. Just going to go over here. So the big one goes on the left. And then the medium one is going to go here on the bottom. Whoops. Didn't completely stick. These already had transfer tape on them. I sent them out that way. So that one is going to go down here like that. And then the little one is going to go up here on the top. Just going to scratch this real quick, make sure it's nice and stuck. All right, so there we have our beautiful spring flowers. Again, don't mind the paint. Oops. Don't mind the paint on my hands. You know, and if you've never watched any of my videos are raw videos. I don't know how to edit, so you get what you get. I'm just going to take this transfer tape and clean up the extra glitter on my little cup so that it will be ready for next time. Just takes a moment to get that all cleaned off of there. And as you can see now, there's no glitter, just like new. And we're going to put that back. All right, so next we are going to dome this so that it has a beautiful top coat. And again, I'm using Resin Rockers UV Resin Hard Type. I'm just going to put about maybe a nickel size in the center. Again, I always start in the center, and I'm going to spread this out. So we're just spreading it out to the edges so that we get complete coverage little by little, attempting to not have any run over. I am the queen of run over, so more than likely I will have some, but we're going to attempt not to. All right, and again, I'm just spreading it out to the edges. Spread, spread, spread. There you go. And if you notice that your resin is a bit thicker, that does happen with weather, so you can heat it up just a little bit like in a baby bottle warmer or some warm water. We're just going to let that sit for a minute and let some of those bubbles come up. All right, that does look good. One last hit. And I'm looking at it from all sides to make sure I didn't miss any spots. Looks like I got it good, so we're going to put it under the lamp and turn that on, and I'll be back. All right, so this just finished. I did have some run over, so I cured that on the back as well. So again, we are just going to carefully pry that. Again, you're pushing down more than pulling up so that you don't break your acrylic or break that resin seal. And a little bit more off back here. Very pretty. There's our finished product. How pretty is that? Beautiful shine, don't mind my white paint. And it's ready to go on your badge reel. Let me know if you have any questions.